These are the Daily Tech headlines for Wednesday, July 24th, 2024. I'm Sarah Lane. In an update to its remediation guide on Wednesday, Crowdstrike reports that last week's 8.5 million Windows machine crash was due to a bug in its own test software. Crowdstrike's preliminary post-incident review, or PIR, explains that its Falcon sensor ships with sensor content software that defines its capabilities, which is updated with rapid response content that lets Crowdstrike detect and collect info on new threats. Rapid response content relies on code called template types that include predefined fields for threat detection engineers, then are delivered as template instances, each of which maps to specific behaviors for the sensor software to observe, detect, or prevent. Crowdstrike introduced a new IPC template type back in February, designed to detect novel attack techniques that abuse named pipes, which notably passed testing. Then on April 8th and April 24th, Crowdstrike introduced two new IPC templates, which didn't affect Windows machines, although some Linux machines had issues. But on that fateful day, July 19th, Crowdstrike introduced two more IPC template instances. One was passed because of a bug in the content validator, which Crowdstrike explains resulted in an out-of-bounds memory read triggering an exception. The company says future rapid response content tests will be more rigorous, releases will be more staggered, and users will have more control over when to deploy them. The Google Play Store on Android got some new features Wednesday, including categorized collections that highlight content from apps you've already installed, and more reward program prizes like Pixel hardware. Play Pass gets more gaming capabilities, and users in Japan are getting a new curated space for comics. Google parent company Alphabet made just shy of $85 billion in its Q2 earnings report, up 14% year on year, and even beating its record Q1 earnings, with Google's search business continuing to grow. Search brought in $48.5 billion, Google Cloud generated $10.35 billion in revenue, and Google's ad business generated $61.66 billion, with $8.09 billion coming from YouTube ads. In Alphabet's earnings call, CFO Ruth Porat said the company will invest an additional $5 billion into its self-driving car unit Waymo, which is part of Alphabet's Other Bets unit. Despite the unit losing $1.13 billion, that loss is up from $813 million a year ago. Spotify beat analyst estimates in its latest quarter, with revenue up 20%, costs down 16%, and subscribers up 14% on the year to 626 million monthly active users. Of those users, 246 million are premium subscribers and brought in 88% of Spotify's revenues. The company raised prices back in June and cut costs by reducing its marketing spend and laying off around 1,800 workers near the end of 2023. Microsoft discovered an issue with the July 2024 Windows security update that was released on its July 9th Patch Tuesday, causing a handful of Windows 11, Windows 10, and Windows Server versions to show the BitLocker recovery screen when booting up. Microsoft notes the issue is more likely to appear if you have device encryption enabled, and that you may be asked to provide the recovery key from your Microsoft account to start up your PC normally. If you don't have that handy, you can retrieve it from Microsoft's recovery screen portal while Microsoft works on a permanent fix. On Tuesday, Meta released Llama 3.1, open for anyone to use, provided that you're not a company with hundreds of millions of users. Llama 3.1 has 405 billion parameters, and Meta says it can outperform OpenAI's GPT-4o and Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Llama 3.1 will run Meta's chatbots, first in WhatsApp and then later in Instagram and Facebook, though you have to select it yourself and only have a limited number of queries per week. A new feature called Imagine Me also lets you scan your own photo to make a variety of generated images. Google, MIT, Harvard, and the European Center for Medium-Range Weather Forecast scientists published an article in the journal Nature on Monday describing a model called Neural GCM that's more accurate than machine learning-based models for 1 to 10-day weather forecasts. Machine learning plus neural networks are trained off past weather data, and physics equations that model global circulation are also used. Neural GCM can also project climate conditions across decades. It's open source and efficient enough to run on a laptop, compared to hours on a supercomputer that many other models need. Finally, Stability AI introduced Stable Video 4D on Wednesday, which builds off the company's existing image-to-video Stable Video Diffusion model. Stable Video 4D can now accept video input and generate multiple novel view videos from 8 different perspectives. The company says the tools should be helpful for movie production, gaming, AR and VR, and other use cases to view dynamically moving 3D objects from arbitrary camera angles. For more discussion of the tech news of the day, subscribe to dailytechnewsshow.com. You can find show notes and links to all these headlines there as well. I'm Sarah Lane. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.